Chapter 1 The Roots. Kingdom the Flash game was released in 2013 as a passion project by the talented developer Thomas Vanderberg, aka Nayo. Apparently the game was kind of successful, so the developer decided to make this idea into a full game. They started a Kickstarter campaign which was cancelled because the dev team received a government grant. The development and publishing company Raw Fury, that was founded in 2015, released the game Kingdom Classic. But wait. This has nothing to do with Kingdom the Flash game. Yes, that's correct. So let's leave the whole development and publishing history of the franchise for later. So what is Kingdom the Flash game, or how I like to call it, Kingdom Roots? Kingdom is a very minimal strategy game that encourages you to stop and enjoy the scenery every now and again. At least that is what the developers tells us. Kingdom is actually the game equivalent of a carnivorous plant. It lures you in with this cute pixel art style and atmospheric visuals and some really good music, but then it throws enemy after enemy after enemy after enemy at you until you fall into complete despair, and soon you find yourself playing it again. And again. And again. And again. Sure, you might grow tired of the game at some point after playing for 2 or 3 or 50 hours, and you might tell yourself you won't touch the game again, but at this point you're already hooked and you know what you're gonna do after you have some disposable time. You start thinking about new strategies, maybe if you play like this or like that, you can survive longer, how the spawning works, can workers actually vend themselves. Like I said, this game is the equivalent of a carnivorous plant, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of the game. You are the monarch of this land, and your job is to build your own kingdom into a prosperous society, which will contain only archers, hunters, farmers or builders, and vagrants. Wait, what? Yes, that's the whole game. It's not a joke. That's all there is to the game. You might think, that doesn't sound very fun. Yeah, you know, it's not much, but it's definitely a game that I played for way too many hours already, and let me tell you, it was fine, I had fun. Basically, in this game you start as the monarch or the king on this patch of land. You always start on the left side of the map, right outside of the forest. You can go inside the forest, it doesn't mean anything, it's just observation I made. From there you go towards the right side of the screen and you pick some coins. You hire some vagrants, you buy some tools, and then you wait. What? Yeah, prepare yourself to wait a lot in this game. I mean, waiting around is probably 80% of the game. When you finish the tutorial that you have to repeat every single time, even though you don't need to follow the instructions, you are free to do whatever you want. Well, not quite. One of the few things you can do and have to do, the most important thing in the whole game I would say, is hiring vagrants. How do you hire a vagrant? You walk up to them, or you ride up to them because you're too high in ability to walk on your own feet, and then you drop a coin on their heads. The coin dropping on their heads shocked them so much that they turned themselves into citizens with color-coded clothing. You can also drop a coin near them, but that would put the whole process in a boring way. From now on, your citizens or subjects have either bluish or reddish garments. This is not important right now, but trust me, it will be important later on. What do subjects do, you might ask? Nothing. They always walk to a certain spot on the map. It's right outside of the left side of the castle or main camp. They will even walk out there during the night. Trust me, this information will be important later on. Since citizens don't do anything, you have to buy a tool, either a bow or a scythe. On each side of your main camp, there is a shop. On the left side of the camp you have a farmhouse, and on the right side of the camp you have a barrack. Investing 1 coin in the farmhouse will reward you with a scythe, and investing 1 coin in the barrack will reward you with a bow. The tools will then be displayed at the front of the shop. Subjects near the shops will pick up the tools and become either archers or farmers. From now on, just forget about the archers. There is nothing you can do for them. They will automatically hunt down rabbits and defend your camp. Remember the color coding of the citizens? Yeah, blue citizens that become archers defend the left side and red citizens defend the right side of the camp. You might think the archers will hunt on the side they are defending, but no, they will actually walk from one to the other side and hunt there. Not all of them, but most of them. From a visual perspective, this is a genius move, because if you look at your game, the more archers you have, the more lively your kingdom seems to be. You will see later on why this is bad gameplay wise, but it definitely adds to the whole atmosphere. Trust me, it will be important later on. Now that we are done with archers, let's move on to farmers. They're kind of boring. Farmers will build walls and tend to farms. On the map there are places that you can build walls, indicated by a coin with a downward arrow. Spending a coin on that will mark the space for the farmers. Farmers will then spend a little bit of time hitting the air until the wall is built. Walls have 4 levels, first level being just wooden spikes and the last level being a tall stone wall. The upgrades take different amounts of time to be completed, but level 3 might take the longest, with something around 28 seconds. Upgrade time might vary depending on how many farmers are building the wall. As you can imagine, spikes go down very quickly and tall stone walls take a while. There is one last thing we have to talk about, and that's the enemies. In this iteration of the game, they are called trolls. There's a cute little troll creature that is pretty fast and very jumpy. They can jump over a level 1 wall, and they can jump over each other, basically making a troll stack, making it possible for little trolls to jump over a level 4 wall. Making the walls not useless, but difficult to handle. Then there are troll bosses. They are just big versions of those small trolls. They have more HP, are slower, and can jump, even though it would be fun to see a gigantic troll jumping around. Little trolls spawn each night and become stronger and more plentiful every time they spawn. Troll bosses spawn every now and again during a so-called blood moon, because the moon becomes red in the background. They also become stronger and more plentiful every time they spawn. Remember earlier when I said citizens will walk outside your walls even during the night? Yeah, now that is important. If a troll touches a citizen, they are so shocked by the hit that they drop their coin immediately, becoming an uncivilized vagrant again. Now if you put those 2 bits of information together, what do you think will happen? Exactly, citizens tend to die. Often. You can rehire those vagrants, but they will explode if you don't rehire them fast enough, so yeah, you should rehire them as fast as possible. You might think, that's bad. Well, it's frustrating, since with time you need more and more archers, and to hire archers you need vagrants, so I hope you can see the problem here. Farmers also tend to die after building the first wall that is not immediately at your camp. Farmers will start tending to all of the farms in the map instead of the farm directly behind your walls. Yeah, farmers tend to die as well. Farmers are also so shocked that they become uncivilized vagrants again, but they drop 2 coins instead of 1, and they will explode as well. You might think, that's frustrating. Well, have you heard about archers? There might be nothing more frustrating in this game than archers. Remember hunting? Sometimes archers are just too ambitious and will continue hunting even during the night. Not all of them, but enough of them that it's frustrating. You know what happens during the night, right? It wouldn't be a big problem, but it is. Remember when I mentioned that archers defend your camp? You see, they are very loyal. So loyal, in fact, that if they see a troll, even though they are right outside of your walls, they will stop immediately and attack the enemy. They will die, drop 2 coins, and become vagrants that will explode if not rehired. Often. I mean very often. More than citizens, more than farmers, way more. You might think, that must be really frustrating. Yeah, it is. I could go on and tell you how the first right wall actually doesn't protect your archers because they stand a little bit outside of it, or how subjects will sometimes pick up coins and just keep the coins, or how upgrading the castle is practically useless, or how hiring vagrants is kind of weird and difficult and frustrating. There are so many things wrong with this game, but I simply can't hate it. It looks amazing, it sounds amazing, it just pulls you into this gameplay loop. Don't get me wrong, it's still frustrating, but I was having fun, or at least I was entertained during my gameplay. I think the developer described it really well, but I would like to add to it. Kingdom is a very minimal, frustrating strategy game that encourages you to stop and enjoy the scenery every now and then. Yep, that's pretty much it. In the beginning of the video, I mentioned the development history of the game. You see, like Good Booze, the Kingdom franchise evolved into something else with time. You will find all the ingredients from the Flash game in the next Kingdom, but it's definitely different. In the follow-up video, I will tackle the sequel to Kingdom Roots, Kingdom Classic. I hope you enjoyed this video though. If you liked the video, I would say leave a like. Did you even know Kingdom Roots existed? Also turn on notifications, follow me on Twitter, and do all the other stuff you should do. Take care of yourselves and have a nice and wonderful day.